Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. We are the Braxtons and we'll see. We aren't like an ordinary family. Yes, the Braxton ladies are back together recording. The season finale's next week. So I said, oh, well, we get like 8 episodes, 6 or 8 episodes. And this is the part 1 of the Iyanla. I think they were probably going to try and stretch it for 3 episodes, but that didn't happen. And before I go and talk about what happened on day 2 that got canceled, Tamar and I think even Tawanda was confirming, and Tony was saying that production gave them a separate time to come in, a different time for them to come in. I'm thinking, I'm a little confused because, so you tell me Tracy, Trina, and Tawanda were able to come in, we're told, or given, Liz, you're given the call time. You don't just show up. So I get that. I know you're given the call time. But what Tamar is saying, and a couple of the other sisters are saying that they gave Tony and Tamar separate times and different times because they didn't even come at the same time, which is really confusing to me. If we're supposed to be having a breakfast thing and Iyanla said that's what she wanted and everyone commits to a breakfast thing, not even a brunch thing, a breakfast thing, then how is it 4 p.m. in the afternoon we're doing breakfast? Like, I understand we fake stuff for reality TV, so maybe they didn't think too much into it, but I just thought that was a little weird. Maybe they were told that the time had to be changed, which maybe it did. Maybe it did. The important thing is, when Iyanla got there, Tawanda, Tracy, Trina were there. Tony and Tamar weren't. So then she went off on, well, Tamar was there because Tony got there late, was the latest to come in. I shouldn't say got there late. She got there. Allegedly, this is the time that she was supposed to get there. They had meetings and stuff, which I can believe, but I'm just so lost. I don't know who to believe because I can believe that Tony and Tamar, for whatever reason, were given different times. I can believe that. I can believe that production did that. I don't know why. I know the obvious is because of the messiness that it would bring, but I just want to know the truth. Because day 1, we got some of the truth. I had to drag it out of them. So everyone's there except for Michael, the brother. And oh boy. Mama Evelyn, we respect you. We respect you. And I just wish that you were more open to the process because unfortunately, you and your husband, Jesus, you and your ex-husband, even though you two have raised the ladies, the girls, and they're all over 40 at this point, and they should be able to come together and fix their own issues. A lot of this stuff is seeded from when they were growing up, which means that, unfortunately, these ladies can't just fix these things on their own. They need their mother and father there to kind of guide them as to, because here's the other thing. They need to know, can they be real? Can they be honest? Can they say certain things that, yes, I think we all were taught that, what happens in the house stays in the house. And a lot of times you just either fix it or you just move on from it. That's how a lot of us are taught, because you don't just want any old stuff out there in the streets. But when things are in disarray, like they are with her family, this is what, how is my chest so much lighter than, Jesus, that's how, thank God for melanin, because I can't do all that lightness. Where's summer? Come back. Anyway, I just find it very funny how Iyanla had to keep, telling her, I know that she is mature and she's set in her ways because this is how she's been able to operate in life. But they're not at a therapist, because she was saying how, why are we at a therapist? Why are we doing this again? Because the other 4 times that you did it, it worked for a little bit, and then it came back to this. You don't need a therapist. You need someone who's going to be blunt and honest, and someone who's okay with you not liking them based on their honesty, or from what they assess, from what they're seeing. And I think it's and it definitely doesn't help that when a parent is in the room, or at least a parent that's respected on some level, the kids usually, whether it's a look or whether it's by their actions, are paying attention to how their parents are reacting and then act accordingly, even when they're older. That's why these ladies, their communication skills are non-existent. And that's what happens. They go and blow up at each other, or say, oh no, I'm not her. No, I'm not upset. No. Because they acknowledged that when they were younger, and all of them said when they were younger, they had fun. It wasn't a situation like they always never really liked each other, never trusted each other. Before the fame came in, they had very good, solid relationships. But unfortunately, the foundation that their overall family was built on was crooked. It was slanted over to the side. And so that's why all these things have been happening as a result. These ladies have been in households where it's like they had to go and fake the funk. When you have to go, because remember, pastor was a prominent preacher in the area, married, all his kids, stayed in the church, and then infidelity happened. But it was known throughout town. And so it was crazy, because now you have this family in disarray. They got a divorce. I didn't agree with, like, I know that she was kind of like joking, just kind of poking at Mama Evelyn when Iyanla said, oh, well, you taught your kids not to give up. No, that can't be the case, because they saw you give up on the marriage. And I said, I know she's just saying that to be petty, because we all know when something isn't working. We all know when something's not going to work. And it's very clear that Mama Evelyn has the naturally stronger presence than Mr. Michael, and then Mr. Braxton. And that's why it's like, okay, they can say stuff and be honest-ish to their father-ish. Honest-ish. Not all the way still, because they were never taught to do that. And it's not about just telling the general truth.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
It's about exposing yourself and your emotions. That's not something that they were taught. That's why they can't do it with each other, and they just blow up on each other, and they don't really like each other. They love each other, but they don't really like each other. I was also irritated by that whole concept of, oh, the elephants in the room. The elephants in the room. The elephants in the room that you're trying to talk about is Tracy. She's right there. And then they switch it to an it. Well, it's an it because, it's just, I said, oh my God, how grown are we? How grown are we? And then Tracy, who was clearly visibly upset, like Anna said, but she did not want to own up to it. And that's because she was taught that, hey, I'm upset, I'm hurt, but you know what? I'm going to say I'm over it. And I'm going to just put it behind me and move forward. That's actually not how life works. You have to go through the feeling so that you can release it. She wasn't going through the feeling. She was going through the, oh my God, these sisters, my dang nerves. They said that. And it's even more conflicting stories where you have, let's say, a Tamar and Tawanda saying that Tracy, we actually talked to her, I think almost even like face to face, about what they were going to do. And Tracy was saying that, oh, we just left her high and dry. We were trying to put everything on her as far as responsibility. And My feeling is, can it be both? I think that Tracy, what she does a lot, and this, we didn't get to this in part 2. Maybe we'll get to this in part 2. Tracy ends up being very accommodating to her sisters, ends up being, and a lot of them do that in general, but Tracy is a prime example of, she's not a pushover, but in her family, it looks like she's a pushover. And so then she might blow up for a second, and then it just starts, the cycle starts all over again. So I think Tracy, trying to take control of her life, decided that she was going to go and film anyway. And, but it is conflicting because Tracy was trying to make it seem like she didn't know that this was really going to happen. Maybe she didn't believe them. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. That's why I said there are some lies in this family, because there's very conflicting stories. Very conflicting stories. What do I think about all of them in general, and if they were open to the process? Most weren't. Let's just call it what it is. They liked the idea, but maybe weren't open to the person doing it. You have to remember, Trina went on that show with Gabe and her kids on the Fix My Life. And that was interesting. It's one of those shows where you have to be open and honest. I also felt, I felt away when Mother Evelyn was saying that she wanted to leave. All this time, I've watched this show. I've watched almost every episode, if not every episode of this show for years. And Tamar was usually the person that was the person that would go and jump up and leave. Tony was a person that would kind of do that, but a lot of times maybe she would just make sure she wasn't there. And it's just one of those things where, oh, so now is this where that whole thing of, I feel like part of that is because they don't want to say what they really feel and how they're feeling in that moment, and so they go and get up and leave. But you're not solving anything when you go and fake the funk. You are not solving anything when you go and fake the funk, or when you leave before, someone's truth can come out. And it is, but I do get why she feels like these ladies are grown. Why do I need to go and be a part of this? It's not fair. No, it's not fair. Life isn't fair. And I'm not saying in a hee-hee-ha way. I'm serious. Life isn't fair. It's full of bull. It's full of bull. But as long as you're here, thank God. As long as you're here, your daughters need help. I know you're tired of their, not them, but of their actions, but they still need your help. And so you need to be there. But I thought it was interesting when, like I said, the next day when Tony and Tamar didn't show up at the time that everyone thought that they were supposed to be there. But Iyanla went off, and Mother Evelyn was definitely over it, definitely wanted to leave, was making faces, and I said, We talk about Tamar in the faces, but again, all this stuff comes from somewhere. It's not just randomly making up these characters. Speaking of characters, there was a little clip where Tony was asked how she feels about Tamar, and I guess just how she reacts to the world. And Tony said, well, she was giving cue cards, and I forgot what the cue card said, but Tony just felt like she's disappointed. That's a very strong word. Disappointed in the fact that her sister, her youngest sister, Tamar, has to go and constantly be animated in every little thing to express herself. And I said, that's messed up to say. So you're saying you're disappointed in the way how she's always been, because a lot of people feel like this is an act. No, I don't think this is an act. I think that when she's in one state of mind, she acts one way. When she's in another state of mind, she acts the other way. If the family's saying she's always been animated, then she's always been animated. Then this isn't make-believe. Oh, this is draining. It is draining, but all the looks, the faces, the scrunched up faces, what do you think it'll take for this family to really heal? I guess in part 2 is when we're going to get the information that Tamar has held close to the chest and vest. I guess. I don't know. I'm tired. It's too much. It's too much. Let me know if there's anything else that you thought while watching. Please go and watch my review for Scandal, Empire, and not Scandal. How to Get Away with Murder, Empire, and what was the other thing I did? Excuse me. Star. Oh, I'm tired. The car's getting a little hot. Let me go back into work. So that's pretty much it. Please like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything else that you thought was interesting that I missed, let me. Oh! When Tamar, when she took that brush and combed her scalp, I said not her hair, but her scalp. I said, we're not doing this today. We're not doing this today. But in part 1, Tamar seemed open. She actually seemed okay with truths being revealed. And I thought that was interesting because I said, so we go from that to her saying that Iyanla is the devil. So that's it.